Hello. Yeah, I just paid all my bills. And I paid for my trip, and now I'm kind of financially violated. So I'm gonna be trying to stream more and try to raise a little extra so I can not have to worry about stuff. But yeah, all the adult stuff is taken care of, bills and everything. I just like don't have much money for food and other things. Got Wo Long on deck for whenever they fix the game. I've been hearing a lot of problems with crashes and shit, so I'm like not really wanting to play that today because I got my booster shot yesterday afternoon. It's gonna be like a couple days before I'm 100%. I'm very physically exhausted. Normal shit when you get a vaccine. You get the arm hurts. Your arm hurts, and you just like kind of physically fatigued. I was supposed to go buy new shoes today, but I told myself to put it off. How loud this game is. Let's turn it down a little bit. There we go. That should be better audio balance. Let me know how the audio is. Final Fantasy 16, it looks decent, but I can't play it because I'm a PC gamer peasant. They don't even have a release date for PC. They already admitted that the game has an exclusivity window, but even when the window expires, they're not going to have it on PC. So I couldn't really care less about that game. It's not really something I have access to. Probably anytime this year. Actually, yeah, I think it's like 6 months exclusivity window, and they said that when it expires, that there's not going to be a PC version. So I couldn't care less. I'm not going to have access to it. Nothing to feel sorry about. I don't really care for it too much. Plus, PC ports have been fucking awful, like, abysmal quality lately, so I have a hard time getting excited for any high-quality video game, high-budget video game right now. PC ports have been dreadful this entire year. We're only a quarter through the year, and the ports have just gotten worse. So, I don't really care about it too much. If it manages to get a not awful port, then I'll check it out. It's not even about the game at this point. It's, will the game fucking work when it's on PC? The answer's probably no. PC gamer community is very bitter right now because they've been treating us like second-class citizens. So I've been more excited for this game coming out because this fucking just works. There's no problems with it. Actual playable, functional product on PC. I've played like 2 new games on PC this year that have actually worked. Pretty much Hi-Fi Rush and this. Every other new game I bought has been a complete train wreck. It's gonna be laughable if they put that game out on PC after, like, seems like it's gonna be at least like 9 months wait time, and it's still a shit port. Very sad but likely outcome. Have they made any changes to this? Yeah, balance changes. This character's new. There's more story content. They changed quite a few things. It's not out yet. Current rumors it's gonna be out in like 2 weeks. The Bilibili page for it, which is the Chinese version, has been posting the same videos that the global account has been posting, so that pretty much implies they're going for a worldwide release. No, I haven't been secretly playing that. I don't have any embargoed content right now. I have no embargoed secret content I'm working on right now. It's just normal stuff everybody has access to. Have you been seeing promotional videos or actual, like, unedited gameplay? Because as far as I can tell, it's not out. No, they haven't even given me the code yet. That's kind of why I bought Wo Long, even though I think that game is like average at best right now, even if it didn't have all the performance issues and glitches. Just to have something to play, because when I come back I have like nothing planned, unless the Pinnacle of Combat beta is out, which I don't quite know. I'm only gonna be gone for a weekend anyway. 18th to the 20th, I'll be back at home by, like, probably 8 o'clock on the 20th, so... Well, hopefully the game will be fixed by then. Content-wise, I don't really care, because I didn't get a review key this time, so... Even if the port was perfect, I would have been a good, like, 2 weeks behind everybody else that got one, so... It's whatever. I'm not too worried about it. Generally, with Team Ninja action RPGs, the real views come from doing stuff for the DLC, because the big channels that get early keys, they don't stick around for the DLC, and there's like significantly less content for the DLC. That was the stuff that did the best for me with Nioh 2, was the post-launch stuff. Because I didn't get an early key for that too, and I still got like probably a good 200,000 views or so off that game. So I'm like not too concerned about it. The game is there for when it's fixed. I might play it a little bit, maybe later tonight if I'm feeling up for it, but I'll stick around for the DLC. That's generally when you can get a lot of views. Like there's gonna be a lot of content for the game now because it's new, but the thing about Team Ninja action RPGs, all of them are like this. They take like 3 months to put out the first DLC, so by that point, all the big channels are gone. They've moved on to bigger stuff, so that's probably how that game's trajectory for me, most likely. By then it'll be in a better spot, it'll probably run better and have more quality of life. Pretty much every Team Ninja game is pretty rough on launch. It's just this one has a fucking abysmal port, so that doesn't really help the game's case, but not really out of the ordinary. Yeah, they take a long time to make their DLC. They take like way longer. I think the first one's estimated to come out in June. That's how it was for Nioh 2. Nioh 2 was exactly like that when that game came out. There was barely anybody making content for the DLC because that game came out like pretty much like the week that most of the world went on COVID lockdown. So they were still trying to meet the deadline for the DLC, but Japan was, as we all know, was completely fucked by COVID. So I think it took like 4 months for the first DLC, and by that point, all the big channels were already long gone. There was more popular stuff to play, and that's when I started really making content for it. The game did really well. So I'm not really too concerned about losing out because the PC port is bad and I didn't get a review key. It really doesn't matter much. As long as I have a new game DLC ready file in the next 4 months, I'm fine. Learning to be more relaxed about this stuff. It's not something that I can control, so this is coming out. Pinnacle of Combat's coming out. We got smaller stuff to play. And those games fucking work on launch too. I've had like no problems with this. This is more worth my time and effort right now. Nioh 2 pre-DLC wasn't a bad game, but it was very very devoid of content, I guess would be the word for it. The first difficulty that you got, because they did launch with one New Game Plus difficulty, was piss easy. It like wasn't. It's more of a victory run. They didn't really have a lot of new stuff to do, so that kind of pushed people away as well. It wasn't like a FromSoft game where the New Game Plus is like way harder and more involved. It was kind of just a victory run. It wasn't terribly interesting. It wasn't until the DLC came out that game kind of felt better for content. Actual reason to make stuff. Plus, Team Ninja action RPGs also, like, they take the training wheels off once the DLC comes out, because they know the casuals are long gone. Even a lot of the hardcore players are gone just because it takes, like, a good quarter of a year for the first DLC to come out. They tend to add, like, way more interesting mechanics and gear and stuff, so Even though that game is kind of vanilla right now, I feel like if you give it time, it'll probably become more fun. I think the best thing that could happen for that game is that they let you animation cancel. Because that's the fucking worst thing about that game. They want you to be aggressive, but the game really shoehorns you into just standing there like it's a turn-based RPG and just waiting your turn. That's my biggest problem with that game. It's like, okay, you want me to not just stand there and fish for parries, but when you try to do that, the game punishes you for doing so. That's precisely the problem. If you want me to do more than just stand there and parry, then the character should be more responsive. I think that's that game's biggest flaw. If somebody puts out an animation cancel mod for that game, I would like play it like right now. Game desperately needs animation canceling. It's stupid to not have it. Parrying stuff is fun. It's not fun when it feels like it's the only option you have to actually fight anything. That's the main issue with that game. It also makes the slow weapons really suck, too. That game suffers from, generic melee combat game problems where the slow weapons are trash because the mechanics just favor attacking faster. And you can't animation cancel into a parry on a slow weapon. It feels like you're just at a straight disadvantage constantly. Very weird design. They don't even have any hidden death with it, like how it worked in Nioh 2, where if you did a yokai ability or a counter, you could cancel out of anything. So, like, there was still a risk, but you weren't really glued in animations that much. Animation lock was kind of like a suggestion in that game. Like, there were yokai abilities like the Revenant Soldier, the zombie guy with the rifle arm. That was like the fastest animation, so if you're gonna get hit by something, animation lock was gonna make you take damage. You could simply just cancel into that. The game is a step back in a lot of ways, but I do have faith that they can fix it. Hello? Quite sure what I'm supposed to do next. Am I level gated right now? Oh yeah, I am. I gotta get to 23. Alright. I wasn't quite following. Let's see here. This probably gives good experience. Alright, let's do a level with orange gear. Yeah, Guardian Heroes is always on sale on Xbox. It's on sale like every week for $5. Recommended game. I wish they would re-release that. I'd rather have that game come back than Ikaruga for the 8 billionth time. They ported that game so many times. Ikaruga's a good game, but yeah, give it a rest, guys. You got other good shit. You got other good shit to sell us. Can we get Guardian Heroes on PC? That way it would be like an evergreen game. It would never have to buy it again, pretty much. The Switch port is pretty good. The PC port of that game is pretty good as well. The thing about the Switch that's really awesome is that since it's a portable console, you can put it in Tate mode without having to flip your monitor around. So the Switch does have some innate input lag, but I don't really think it's a problem for most unless you played the other versions for like 8,000 hours or something. The Switch is actually pretty nice for shmups, just because you have Tate mode just like literally built into the hardware. I played Escaluda 2 like that. Just tilt the Switch over. Tilt the Switch over and then you can rotate the screen and the options. So they like don't really need to port that game again. I think like PC and Switch is like it's probably like $20 for both of those combined. That game doesn't need any more ports. Yeah, even a Switch version would be okay, just because you can dump a copy. Like, I have a copy of that Kamen Rider game on, one that came out on PS4 and Switch. I have a copy of that, and it runs better than the PS4 version. This is because there's a 60 FPS mod for it. So I bought the game again at, like, full price, just for that, because in case that game ever gets delisted, I have, like, a permanent copy. I have it backed up on my external hard drive. Yeah, Switch wouldn't be bad. I would just dump it and play it on PC, but I think they pretty much perfected Ikaruga ports. Switch is a really good console for vertical shmups, at least. It's like ideal, pretty much, just because there is some input lag that's just built into the console, but you have built-in Tate mode, which for games like that, vertical shmups is actually a really good thing. Especially if you have the kind of lifestyle where you're like not using your Switch docked that much. Whether you like travel or you work at a place where you can play games like I do. Pretty ideal shmup platform. I don't think there are any particularly train wreck ports for shmups on Switch either. They all just kind of work. You don't really seem to be inferior in any way, besides the input lag, but it's kind of a non-issue if you didn't play the other versions for like a healthy amount of time. Wait, I might have to talk to her again. Hold on. Side quest I'm totally reading. What's wrong with the cotton port? What's wrong with that? I haven't heard anything about that game. What's wrong with it? Well, in their defense, I don't know how bad the port is, but the Switch, I think it has like 3 frames of native input lag. So, if the game has input lag on top of the native lag that just comes from being on Switch hardware, then it's gonna feel really bad. A good example of that is Bloodstained. Bloodstained on the Switch before they patched it had horrendous input lag, because it had like the built-in Switch input lag, but then they did a shit job porting the game, so it had even more. Like, even just like jumping in that game felt awful. That game already didn't really have particularly good platforming because of how floaty it was, but the 1.0 Switch version of Bloodstained was like unplayable. There was so much input lag. You know, there's like parries, there's a deceptive amount of depth in that game's combat. There's like fighting game special moves and parries and stuff, and like you couldn't do it because it felt like there was like a full second of input lag. Horrendous port. But yeah, bad Switch ports is pretty uncommon thing, I would say. Most of them just kind of work. But yeah, if you're selling something for a premium, an old-ass game for a premium that like most people aren't going to be interested in just because it's old, and it runs worse than the ROM that you can get on the internet for free, then yeah, you've pretty much failed. Retro game collections are pretty much like music. You know, what killed music piracy was the fact that you could buy the stuff legally for cheaper. Same thing with movies, with streaming and stuff. With retro games, it's pretty much like, you know, you don't have to be like an internet master to figure out where to get those games for free. And you can set them up in like 10 minutes. So if you're selling me a collection that runs like shit, it's worse than what I can get online for free, then I'm not gonna buy it. Like, the Mega Man X collection is worse than playing it on emulator, for the SNES games at least, because there's a ton of input lag. It's like hard-coded into how they emulated it or something, so... The collection is pretty much worth it for X4 through X8, because those ports are fine, and they don't really have any... They don't have that many significant ROM hacks. But if you want to play the first three, which is probably like 90% of the people that wanted to buy it, the collection's really bad. There's videos about how much input lag it has. Whereas the Mega Man Zero collection, the ZX and Zero Legacy collection they did, is legit the best way to play those games. Like, it's worth the $30. It actually manages to surpass the emulator in pretty much every way, outside of the fact that it costs money. Like, they speedrun on those collections now. They don't use the emulator anymore. They only use the emulator for practice, because they're save states. But, like, the actual, like, world record speedruns, they use the collection now, which is pretty impressive. So normally with speedruns for, like, old games, if they bring them back, the ROM and the emulator is still better. They did an exceptional job with those. They really improved from the Mega Man X collection. I don't know, on the other hand, you can find Mega Man X 1 through 3 on, like, archive.org, probably. They're, like, piss easy to find, and your phone can run them. It's not that big of a deal, but they definitely didn't do a very good job bringing those games back. It's like half of it is a good port, the rest is bad. Castlevania Advance Collection is also a really good port too. It's just the thing with that is those games have a fuck ton of ROM hacks, so it doesn't actively replace the ROMs like the Zero ZX collection does, but I don't know, you can buy that for $20 and then just go download the ROM as far as I'm concerned. I think some of them do speedruns on the collection for those games. The EXE collection looks pretty good too, but I didn't play those games as a teenager. I didn't play those games as a teenager, so I have no interest in that, but it seems like they're going the extra mile with that collection too. It's just pretty stupid that it has fucking De Nouveau for like 20-year-old games. I don't know why the hell they're doing that, but I guess if you can look past that, it doesn't seem too bad. Yeah, I don't know why 20-year-old games need De Nouveau. Little backwards, if you ask me. Those games are ancient. But it does look like it will be better than the emulation. And Capcom, in their defense, they do get rid of Denuvo after a while. They got rid of it on Monster Hunter World. They got rid of it on I think like pretty much all the Resident Evil games, like Resident Evil 8, 7, the 2 and 3 remakes, DMC 5. I guess you could just wait. Yeah, I'm not interested in those, though. I didn't play those games growing up. I didn't like them. They also changed high schools a lot, so those really social-focused games like that, like Pokemon and stuff, I kind of got out of all that stuff growing up, because I changed high schools too much.
あの蜘蛛の助がどうやら職人の集落に戻って試してみる時が来たようだ。
Hello. How you doing? Oh, thank you for the donation. I just saw that. Thank you. Yeah, my debit card's a little empty this early in the month because I just paid my computer bill, I paid the internet bill, I paid my other subscriptions and stuff, so yeah. I definitely do need help. I'm gonna be putting my donation thing on my streams, because I got pretty much all the adult stuff paid off. I just need to, like, money for groceries and some money to be, like, a little bit more comfortable, because there's obviously more expenses this month. I think this is closed beta still, but it is supposed to be coming out very soon.
美味しい料理があれば戦闘で敵を倒すのに役立ちます。
No, it's still going. I'm playing it right now. I just don't think it's public yet. This game is on mobile. It'll be on PS4 as well. Crossplay. I don't know if you guys remember, but I won $500 for playing this game a while back, like last year, because they had a content creator contest. And I got to like the level cap, and I made like a really good overview for it. I won second place. Second place was $500 Amazon gift card. don't think they're doing that this time, but it's like the first time I ever really won something like that. That's why you always go for contests that require skill and talent, not just luck. So you have a higher chance of winning. Yeah, I don't know if people remember that. That happened before the Helvetii sponsorship.
あんたはいい人だね。この鍵を持っているなんて。早くあの火事の書を持ってきてね。
Yeah, so I'll be raising funds probably up through my trip. I already paid for the trip, the hotel, and the train ticket is paid for a round trip. It's mostly just survival money at this point because I'm not really gonna be spending much on this channel this month. I bought Wo Long, and that game is in a really shit state right now. But what I figure is by the time that I get back, because I'll only be gone for a weekend, I'll probably have at least one patch out. And maybe it'll be more playable. There's a lot of problems with that game right now. Not even mentioning the flaws in the gameplay, the frame rate, the crashes and stuff. It's not very relaxing to play that game right now. But it's paid for. I figured I'd just buy it now, and they will fix it. I know we're tired of hearing that, but they will fix it. So I'm just gonna be playing probably backlog stuff until then. It's less frustrating. Oh, I'm fine. Just, usual stuff. Arm hurts. A little exhausted. I had some adulting to do today. I need to get new shoes because mine are falling apart. But I just woke up really tired. I'm like, I'm just gonna take my ibuprofen and stay home. I have to work at my neighbor's house tonight, but that's like the only adulting I'm doing today. Well, no, I paid my computer bill as well. I just put off any adulting that required physical activity. Plus the county on-demand transit has been really bad. I didn't feel like dealing with that today because
あら、失礼を許してくださいな。
I went to go get the vaccine shot
裏切り
yesterday
にもう
and the
一つのエリア。
fucking
月
shuttle.
日の狭間を
I
開
was
く
waiting
こと
for
が
it
で
for
きま
like
した
2 hours. I had to get my friend to come and pick me up. Like, yeah, I don't really feel like dealing with that again today. As long as I get the new shoes by, the time I leave. I might even just go do it tomorrow. Tomorrow the shuttle should be, like, more functional. To play Android games, I don't know if you could do that on the Steam Deck. What are you talking about? Stuff like this? Like, online games like this, or... just like homebrew? Yeah, I don't know if you could do that, actually. I would not be the person to ask. I just use my phone. I use my phone for mobile stuff. It's a good question. I wish I could answer it. I think the best way to do that would probably be to install Windows on it. I can't guarantee the emulators will work well on Windows. I don't have Windows installed on mine yet. I just don't feel like doing it. That's generally how the Steam Deck works, though. If it doesn't work natively, you can install Windows. Oh, here, I'll give you something to use. Let me finish this level, alright? Let me finish this boss fight and I'll show you. I'll tab out of the game. Hold on. I'll show you what I use for my kitty sitting streams that I do. Very good controller. Alright, hold on. I have to show it on Amazon. I have to make sure it's not going to show my address so that you guys don't send me like 800 anchovy pizzas that I need to pay for in cash. Hold on. You guys can't see it yet. Just give me a second. I've got to protect myself here. Alright. Okay, it's not showing my address. Just making sure. Hold on a sec. Alright, so this is a newer version of what I currently use. I used the one that came out like last year. Actually, they have the one I just use. Yeah, this is the one I use right here. It's lower price now. I don't know if they have a better visual of it, but yeah, the D-pad is really nice. Yeah, this is the exact one that I use for my my kitty sitting streams when I'm over at when I'm working at my neighbor's house. This is the exact model, but there's a newer one. I think this one is fine. A lot of the other that's what these are called. They're called telescopic controllers, which basically means they're like Joy-Cons for your phone. It's basically just a really complicated way of saying phone Joy-Cons. The D-pad on this is really nice, so I feel it's better You can get the Razer Kishi is available at like Best Buy, but I thought that thing had a really shitty D-pad. So I think the Razer Kishi is better if you're only gonna play like modern games, like, you know, PUBG Mobile or like Genshin Impact, like pretty much any of the 3D games. But if you want to do like 3D and 2D, I recommend this. It comes with a nice case as well. Could easily fit in like your backpack or something. It doesn't take up too much space. This is the new model that just came out. I'll probably upgrade to this one when I have a little bit more disposable income, so not this month. But yeah, that's an option too. Let me give you the link. Oh, well, it's like a really long link. Hold on. It's not letting me post a long message in my own damn chat. Let me censor this. I don't want it to show my address. Is there like a place where I can share a link on Amazon? I've never done this before. Do I have an affiliate link? No. Trying to find a place where I can just copy the damn link, but it's like not letting me. There you go. That's the exact model I have. I can't vouch for the other one. But Type-C is nice because it removes any input lag that you might have. Alright, back to the game. Hold on. Yeah, it's well worth the $50. It's a little expensive, but it's worth it. And you see the stuff that I play on those retro streams. I don't play like auto battlers or anything. I play games with like hardcore gameplay, so it's I can vouch for it. I've only been through like 3 of them in the past couple years, so they're relatively durable. I don't know if they have a warranty for it or anything, but it's worth it. Yeah, the Razer Kishi isn't bad. It's more accessible because you can get it like locally without having to go through Amazon. But that thing has a garbage D-pad. I couldn't stand it. That was the first one that I had when I started doing like mobile content. But the D-pad is balls. It's awful. Worth the extra step of having to order it online. That thing is fine if you're only going to do 3D games. So like PS2 games or modern mobile games like PUBG, Call of Duty, Genshin Impact and stuff. Other than that, it's useless. It's a good entry-level telescopic controller, but I think the GameSir ones are better just because they cover, like, all different kinds of games, not just 3D. Ironically, the other thing that sucks about the Razer Kishi is that a lot of the games you'd want to play on it, like the first-person shooters and stuff, they ban the use of Mantis Gamepad Pro. Mantis Gamepad Pro is basically a controller emulation, so It tricks the phone into thinking touchscreen inputs are controller inputs. From what I understand on Call of Duty Mobile, I don't know if they do it on PUBG Mobile, but they ban you for using it. Which is stupid. Like, why don't you just have controller support? Like, you want people to spend like $300 on stupid shit like gun skins. Like, I don't think it's that weird to like say like, hey, if you spend an extra $50, you can play the game better. I don't think you get banned for doing it on Call of Duty. I think what they do is they block the wireless debugging, which is what Mantis Gamepad Pro uses to map touchscreen controls to the controller. That's what I've heard anyway. Because I follow them on Facebook for like firmware updates and stuff. There's always people saying like, why does this work on Call of Duty? And they have to keep saying, well, they detect the method that they use to emulate the controller, which is weird. Like, hey, buy this purple polka dot gun skin for your AK-47, but you can't use a controller. The skin costs like $800 or something. Using a controller is against the law, though. Very backwards design. I don't fucking understand it. The stuff that I play either has native controller support or they don't care if you use it. You won't get banned for using it or anything. PGR and DMC have native controller support. And the other stuff that I played in the past, I just used Mantis and it was completely fine. Phantom Blade Executioners. And actually, I'm gonna be right back. I gotta check on the kitty. We have a security guard kitty in the back. His name is Midnight. And he protects my aunt's garden. But she's off on a business trip, so I had to go take care of him. By the way, he knocks on the door. He knocks on the screen door for food. I'm supposed to check at him at 3, so I'm gonna go see if he's out there. I'll just be gone for like 2 minutes or so. Go see if he wants to eat. I'll be right back. Alright, Midnight is AFK. He's not out there. I called for him like 5 times and he didn't show up. So, he's never appeared on the channel, but he is he's a tamed feral. So, I'm pretty sure he was born on the streets. And it took us a long time to befriend him, but he pretty much just lives in the back. And he gets rid of bugs and rodents and stuff, so we call him the security guard, but he's AFK right now. I don't know where he is. Normally he's in the backyard like chilling, but he's AFK. So if he doesn't show up by the time that I leave for caregiving, then he's gonna be shit out of luck. He's supposed to be here right now, but he's we don't own him. He's just he's a feral. He's a very good kitty though. Very chill. He does knock on the door. He knocks on the door when he's hungry. We have a screen door in the back, so what he does, how he knocks on it is he puts his claw inside the hole of the screen door and then he yanks it out. So, obviously he's a cat, he doesn't have hands. But that's how he knocks. So sometimes you're out there and he hears you talking, and you hear him, he pounds on the door. He's not there right now, so we'll have to wait, I guess. I'll have to hope he catches me later. Because I'm going to be gone for like 4 hours. 4 or 5 hours. He's going to have to fend for himself if he doesn't show up soon. Yeah, there was one time he, this was at the beginning of lockdown. I ordered a pizza. And, I came, you know, they did the contactless delivery. So I was at the table eating it, and I hear knocking, and I'm like, what are they supposed to knock for? They're not supposed to do that, it's supposed to be contactless. So I go all the way to the front of the house, and open the door, and there's no one there. So it was him on the back. He heard me eating, so he started pounding on the door. Yeah, he's a very good kitty, but he's feral, so he kind of just does whatever the hell he wants. It's very uncharacteristic for him to not be there right now, but we'll catch him later. Yeah, his name is Midnight. He's a gray Russian blue. So he has like very beautiful like teal colored eyes. Gray, short fur. He's never been on the channel before. I should record him sometime. Yeah. He's a feral, so he does whatever the fuck he wants. Maybe I'll check on him again in a little bit. Maybe he was sleeping somewhere. But generally if I go out there, he'll get up. I told you earlier, no, it's coming out soon. It's a closed beta. You can go apply for it. Closed beta. They seem to be implying it will be out soon, so if you like what you see, you can probably play it publicly soon, but I got a beta key for it. sure if I'm supposed to talk to somebody to trigger more story or what. Got a little bit of a forced grind here. Oh yeah, I gotta get to 28. Alright, well, we'll give that a break for now. Let's play something else. That's enough of that for now. They're wiping anyway, so... I should tell you that too, Oven. They're gonna be wiping, so... I don't know if it's too worth playing. It's worth trying it out, but... hardcore grinding is kind of not advised, because they're, this is the last wipe that they're doing, pretty much. There won't be any more wipes after this one. The next version is going to be the official public release with microtransactions on and everything. So, don't feel too bad if you can't play it now. It's nice to try it out, see the changes that they made, but everything is going to get wiped. So, I don't know how worth it is. The last time they wiped it was worth it because the money that you spent, you get double of it back when the game comes back. So I did the grind then, but this beta, I'm like, I'll check out the changes, but I'm not going to go, all out. It's just a waste of time. I probably won't play that too much more, honestly. I don't think they even have any kind of, rewards for maxing out your character this beta. It's kind of just like a last-ditch attempt they're doing for it, like a beta before they officially launch. Let's see what else we got here. Yes and no. I got Wo Long to run a little bit better, quite a bit better, but it's on super low settings because the port is shit. And then so I bought the Steam version, and the Steam version runs even worse. I don't even have it installed right now. It ran way worse for some reason. Because I don't really like playing games that I intend to play past the credits on Game Pass, just because there's mods. Mods and cheat engine tables are the big reason to not ever buy games on Game Pass. Because the values are different, the saves are encrypted. There's a lot of downsides to Game Pass. It's nice to try out games, or maybe play an indie game or something that you're never going to play again. But if you're, for Wo Long especially, there's 3 problems with playing that game on Game Pass. The first is, it will be removed eventually. The second is that even if you buy it, and you buy the DLC, the mods and stuff won't work, because the values are different. So... yeah, I always advise against playing long-term games on Game Pass, even if you buy it, because obviously the fact that you can buy the game gets around the fact that you're just kind of renting it, right? But for mods and stuff, a lot of people don't really do the Game Pass versions historically on other games. And Team Ninja games take 9 months to put out the DLC, 9-10 months. So you're either gonna be renting the game for 10 months, which is more than it would cost to just buy the deluxe edition on another platform, and then the mods won't work. So it's not worth spending a lot of time. I mostly use Game Pass for trying things out. Does this game run? Do I like it? It's worth the $10 a month for that, because they do get a lot of games that I like to play. But if I actually intend on buying it, I don't buy it on there, because long term it's a bad idea. Let's see, I'm trying to figure out what I feel like playing next. What do we got here? Yeah, I would play more I would play more Phantom Blade, but they're wiping, so I don't really feel like going that much farther. Yeah, last public beta they did, they had the cash shop enabled, and they're giving you double back. So I spent like $50. I spent like $50 or something, so I get like 100 back when it fully releases. So that was worth playing to the cap. But this beta's like, oh well, it's cool. The game is playable again, and they improved it a lot, but it's kind of a legit waste of time. It'll be like the 4th time I've done the leveling experience. So if you guys are interested in that game, they said it's supposed to be out soon. There's no release date yet, but that is something that they're planning on doing soon. I don't know if it'll be this month. Might be like next month or something. But if you ask them, they just keep saying no release date. So take that as you will. I have no idea what that means. That could mean anything. We'll try Wo Long a little bit right now. How about that? I should probably get some more sleep before work, though. So I gotta be over there in like 3 hours. We'll see how it streams. It's gonna look really bad because it's low settings, but only way it's playable.
この扉の向こうが準備はいい？
Trying to get a bow to drop. These are the only ones I've got. I'm trying to get a 3-star one because I hear the bow is pretty good in this game, but it's not giving me one. We'll try that a couple times, then I'm probably gonna stop for now. So I probably will stream at my neighbor's house too. Actually, I'm leaning towards yes because I got to do PGR stuff. Actually, no, I don't have to do PGR stuff. Yeah, I might not actually stream over there tonight. I might just play Steam Deck tonight. We'll see how I feel. I already did my PGR homework, actually. Forgot that I already did it all. I did my dailies for the day. Oops. Well, their next game is Rise of the Ronin, and it looks
これでこの
looks
ために
really
も
unappealing
平
to
穏が
me.
戻ることでしょう。
It's just like another generic open world game. As much as people complain about the level design in these, I'd rather have this than running around in nothing. That's my take on it.
将軍を倒したはずなのに気の流れが乱れているわ。嫌な予感がする。やったわね。これでこの谷にも平穏が戻ることでしょう。
The shop in this game is completely useless, by the way. You can only buy 1-star items from it, so it's completely pointless. Anything above 1 star you have to find. Like, it hasn't given me a single bow staff that's above 1 star. That's what I'm kind of trying to do right now. But this chick I'm with right now has a bow, so probably get it from her from Infinity. Yeah, this game is really laggy. It's like kind of why I'm like not really wanting to play it that much. It's been a really bad year to be a PC gamer. It's just like the worst year I've ever experienced gaming on PC. It's just like games barely work.
これでこの国にも平穏が戻ることでしょう。
By the time they fix this game, it will have the first DLC pack, quality of life patches, mods. I wouldn't worry about it too much. And also, the reason why I calm down about getting pissed about this game is because I didn't get a review key, so I'm 3 weeks behind everybody else anyway. And I mentioned this before you came in, but Team Ninja action RPGs, it's not really that big a deal if your videos don't do well when the game comes out, because none of the big channels come back for the DLC for these games. The reason for that is they take 3-4 months to put out the first DLC. So all the big channels have already moved on at that point. There's obviously at least 2 other games they want to play in that time span. Nioh 2 DLC videos did extremely well for me, because the people that got early keys were playing other stuff by the time the DLC came out. So I didn't really care too much. I'm not worried about it. It's not something I can control anyway. That goes for pretty much any game, though. It's really a small percentage of people that come back for any DLC on any game. Not just more niche stuff like this. So if you stick around and you make good content, it can be a good thing for your channel. Nioh 2 was exactly like that. Those videos I did really well just because, nobody else was really making content at that point. The release day hype was gone. Pretty much just hardcore fans left at that point. It goes for anything, not just stuff like this. There'd be, less people. Yeah, this port is awful. I don't really want to play this anymore. I'm gonna wait until they fix it. It's looks really bad on my end. I don't know how it's looking in the stream, but it drops frames constantly. I'm getting really annoyed with it. I have it on the lowest settings and it still barely runs. I don't really feel like getting frustrated over this right now. I'm gonna play something else. Yeah, there's your Wolong gameplay. The game barely fucking works, and there's lots of problems with the combat too. A lack of animation canceling is what makes that game not fun. I hate when people say that you're not supposed to stand there and wait to parry, but the game doesn't let you do anything but that, because there's no animation canceling. It's what makes the slow weapons feel really shitty. The slow weapons would be like somewhat viable, I think, if the game had animation canceling, but it doesn't. It's an okay game, but I don't know why the fuck they made a defense-focused game where you can't guard cancel. It's like stupid. It feels really stiff. Oh, it commits the sin like most video games have, where like slow weapons suck because the game mechanics only favor attacking quickly. There's too much animation lock in that game for how much damage you take and how much they want you to parry above all else. You have to parry to get your spirit back and stuff. And like, you can only do like just normal attacks. If you try to do anything long, you're stuck in the animation until it finishes or you get hit. It's just, I don't know why that game is designed the way it is. Like, committal attacks like that are important to have in a fighting game. You know, you can't have attacks in a fighting game that just leave you like no gap. The fighting games are like based around committal attacks. You make decisions based on how safe it is. You don't throw out like a move that somebody can do a full combo on you. That's just how fighting games work. It's supposed to be committal. That there's always like a disadvantage to just throwing stuff out. But in an action game, you just can't have that. It needs to be more responsive. Yeah, besides the fact that the combat is dumbed down and simplified to like the most basic functionality, the biggest problem with that game is the animation lock. You have like the R1s and stuff, and they look cool, and they have like cool properties and stuff, but you're locked in an animation, so it's cool to do like this big flourish of slashes, but your character will not respond to anything until it's finished. And you're typically fighting things that don't stagger. It's just like, I don't know why the game is designed the way it is. It makes no sense. If they fixed that PC port, and there's like an animation canceling mod for it, I probably would like it a lot more. But the combination of like pretty much removing the entire moveset and then having parries, a parry like defensive focused game with the defensive options don't feel good to use. It's just a mess. And I feel like unless they have like some kind of gear set that lets you do that later on, then the game is not going to be that interesting. Yeah, I would not recommend buying that game right now unless you have a current gen console. You have a current gen console and you're like okay with just fishing for parries the entire game because very little else is viable. It's probably the worst launch Team Ninja action RPG. I think Stranger in Paradise had a really bad launch state too, because the port was also bad, and there wasn't much to the combat, and the loot was pointless, but besides the performance, that game really got better later on, after they put out the DLC, and they made the loot more interesting. That game is legit fun. I would rather play that more than Wo Long right now, which is sad. They fucked up. Anyway, I think that's going to be it for now. I think I'm going to lay down a little bit. I'm actually still feeling tired from the vaccine. And I'm also, I've got caregiving tonight. So I might see you guys over there later tonight, actually. I might farm a little bit on PGR. I got the Streets of Rage X beta as well. So I'm going to try to get that working for tonight's stream. And if I can't do that, then I'll probably come back and play like some other games tonight. Yeah. Yeah, Wo Long is in a shit state right now. The gameplay and the gameplay and the poor optimization and the bugs and stuff. It's just like I can't recommend that game to anybody in good conscience. It needs a lot of work. Sifu update is next month. Yeah, I'll play that for sure. I already have that game, so that's not a big deal. But yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna try to get some rest so that maybe I can do like 2 more streams a day, maybe, if I'm up for it. I'll catch you guys later. If you want to help with my expenses, because I bought Wo Long and it doesn't fucking work, and I have like non-gaming stuff to pay for, and my debit card is pretty drained from all the bills and stuff. I would appreciate if you guys want to help. I'm probably going to be having to promote that more than usual, just because I had a trip to pay for, and I had to pay my computer bill, which was like $150 this month. So I'm trying to just not be stressed about money this month. So I'm going to try to raise some funds. I'll see you guys. If not over at my caregiving job, then tonight we'll probably play some stuff that's not Wo Long, because it's. How was the stream for it? Was it looking good on the stream at least? I need to know that before I go. How was it looking on the stream? 'Cause that's like the best I can run it. It just runs like complete shit. That's the best I could get it to work and look. How was the Wo Long gameplay today? Let me know that really quick before I hop off. Maybe I'll play that a little bit more tonight, but no promises. I'm kind of leaning towards playing stuff that doesn't run like dog water, so we'll see you later.